Welcome to Trending Faith. I'm here with Tim. Tim got a good question for you, particularly relevant at this time of year. What do you think? Should Christians make New Year's resolutions?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think most of us are adverse to making commitments,
Agreed.
And I think resolutions kind of fall into that category where if I make a commitment, somebody's going to hold me accountable, and I don't want to be a failure. So I'm not going to make some kind of a resolution. At the very least, though, I know for me, when I get to the end of one year and I'm looking at a new year, I think, all right, I didn't get this done. I should have done this. I wish I would have been better at that. And it's at least an opportunity to kind of take inventory, to say, all right, there's a brand new year in front of me. Do I have any kind of new goals or aspirations for this next year or this next stage in my life? And, with the year turning over right now, is this a good time for me to maybe think about an area of focus in my life? You want to call it resolution or a commitment? Okay. I don't think it's such a bad idea to at least do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how formal resolutions become for some people, where they write it down, put it on the refrigerator, and their spouse waves their finger at them. You said you were going to do. I don't know how productive that is, but I think it may be worth Christians kind of at least evaluating, where was I last year? How did it go? Mm-hmm. Do I want to just keep doing the same old thing? And maybe the same old thing was good, but maybe my next year, this new year, might provide me a new challenge, new opportunities. If I just decided I'm going to look at my life a little bit differently, and that's what New Year's brings, then I think that's a good thing. I don't think Christians should shy away from that. I think being resolute to be somebody different, each week, each year, I think that's a good thing. I think Christians should embrace that.
I feel sometimes like the holiday season gives me a chance to stop a lot of there's a lot of busyness. There's eating, there are family reunions and all that, but there's like a slowing down with the regular flow of work and everything. We just have a little more time off. And that helps me to, like you said, take inventory and recalibrate. What would you say to a person who takes a resolution so seriously that after they've recalibrated, they set a commitment, set a goal, they make a resolution, and then they just feel defeated. They can't do it. They want to lose weight. They want to start exercise. They want to read books, whatever. What would you say to a person who just feels defeated after having made a run at a commitment like that?
In other words, what have I said to myself?
Or to myself.
Yeah. Well, I think just as we want God to treat us with grace, and He does. He overflows with grace and mercy. I think that at times we learn how to be that way with others. We give them grace. And I think we need to do that with ourselves from time to time, realizing that we are made of dust and, we're prone to failure and mistakes and not following through. And when those times come, and they probably will, when it comes to the typical kind of commitments that we often make at in a new year. And, grace, abundant grace, everybody needs. And I think sometimes when we make those commitments, we realize that we may not achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves, but I don't think we ought to just default to, I'm going to set a goal, but I'm going to fail, so, I'll be okay with it. I don't know if that really sets us up for success either. But, if we are diligent about making some kind of new goal or path in our life, and we kind of set our feet to it, and we're going to try to accomplish it, and we stumble along the way, well, hey, give yourself a little grace, stand up, dust yourself off, and keep trying to go forward. I think that really does characterize how Christians should be. That kind of those qualities of God that is faithful and persistent, as in His relationship with us, I think ought to characterize His children and how we embrace others and how we embrace life and its experiences. And, we're all going to stumble. We're all going to fail, not going to reach our goals. But That doesn't mean we just quit, throw in the towel, and beat ourselves up. I mean, what good is that? So, mercy's a good thing. Grace is good for us to experience not only with one another, but with ourselves, and especially with God, for sure.
All right, good. So maybe a good idea as far as discipline is concerned, but we're, as followers of Christ, not under law, but under grace. Yeah, well said. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate you sharing. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.